Hey, and welcome back to the Tarot Talk. Today, we are diving into a topic that I know at least some of you can relate to, especially around the holiday season, and that is handling family bullshit. Or really just handling family gatherings when everyone seems to have an opinion on what you eat or how you move or the choices that you make for your health or literally anything about your life at all. Anyone else? Just me? Okay. If you have found yourself in an awkward situation, maybe an awkward conversation about why you're not choosing to have seconds or you are choosing to have seconds, or had a pushy relative tell you to just try a little or just have this, you are not alone. The holidays should be a time for connection, family, fun, but they also bring challenges, especially when it comes to your health and wellness journey. Think about it like this: we all live our own lives, and then all of a sudden we're together for this one moment, one few days in time. We all live our own lives and do our own thing, and then we all come together and we have these like big opinions that we want to kind of push on each other without maybe even meaning to sometimes. So, with the right strategies, you can handle these situations with confidence and kindness. And in my 35 years of life, I feel like I probably almost can fully do that now. Today, I'm going to share with you 8 tried and true solutions to help you stay on track, feel comfortable in your choices, take up space, and enjoy the holiday season without compromising your goals or your sanity. Number one, first and foremost, you have to set your expectations. I want you to, before you actually even go into your week of seeing your family, your friends, or whoever, ground yourself. Define what you want the experience to look like for you. Think about what you're comfortable with talking about. Think about what you're comfortable in engaging with or what you want that experience to feel like. Whether it's conversations around your food and wellness journey, whether you want to get in your workout and they want you to do something else, you have the power to control your own narrative and your own life. So, setting clear expectations for yourself helps you avoid feeling pressured or reactive from other people's comments or judgments. And here is the kicker for you all. Maybe you need to hear this. You actually don't owe anyone an explanation for your goals. Yeah, we can pause on that. You don't owe anyone an explanation. Period. Stay firm in the knowledge that your journey is yours and yours alone. And it's okay to politely redirect or disengage from topics that just don't serve you. Your self care and happiness are just as important as anyone else that is talking to you. So please do not be afraid to prioritize yourself unapologetically. So before heading into past years' gatherings where I was around my family, I knew I needed to set some like clear boundaries and expectations with the people around me. In the past, I often felt myself going into family gatherings feeling very stressed and very reactive, very defensive, especially when certain people were around me. And so I really have just decided to take a different approach and one that prioritized me and my well being. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't always work, but at least you can set yourself up with that expectation first and foremost. Also, fortunately, I have incredible in laws and I'm really excited to spend holidays with them. So that's great. Number two, politely deflect questions. The holidays often comes with extra side of uninvited opinions and questions, especially when it comes to sensitive topics like what you're eating, your lifestyle questions, or even your very own personal life. And remember, we're all living our own lives and going on our own journey. And so when we come together, maybe their journey is so different than yours and they have these expectations of you, which are totally different. So here's an example of a question that someone might ask you when you are on your health and wellness journey. Oh, I noticed you're having seconds. Are you still on that health kick from Aunt Susie? And really, A, that's none of their business. But B, you can just say something like, oh, I'm just enjoying what I have. By the way, did you ever finish that home renovation you were talking about last year? You can kind of put the questions on them and then see if they actually got the job done. You know what I mean? Now, this approach works for several reasons. First, you're just acknowledging the person without feeling the need to justify or explain your choices, but also you can redirect the question to something about them, especially if they've talked about it in the past, and that can kind of bring up maybe some thoughts on what their experiences are. So the beauty of Politely deflecting conversations is that it gives you control without causing any more conflict. Here are just a few more examples of what you can do. If somebody asks you about your eating habits, you can say something like, "Oh, I'm just focusing on feeling good and enjoying the company today. Speaking of, how have you been?" Or what about if you get a comment about your appearance or weight, which can absolutely happen? You can say something like, "Oh, thanks for noticing. It's been a full year of changes. How have things been for you this year?" Or maybe if there's some pressure to eat more or try something that you're not comfortable with, you can say something like, "Oh, looks great. I'm good for now. Tell me about the vacation you just took." Look at us. We're deflecting questions. Also, people want to talk about themselves. So if you ever feel uncomfortable talking about yourself, just ask them a question about themselves and they will go off. You can do this with my husband at any time. The key is to keep your tone friendly and conversational, which can diffuse any tension and redirect the focus. And by doing this, you protect your peace, your boundaries, those are expectations you set in number one. And remember, it is okay to prioritize your well being without feeling guilty or defensive. Number three, prepare friendly responses for common questions. So, again, we can deflect questions, but we can also prepare responses, just like what I do when I create social media content. A lot of the content that I create are questions that client asks me or questions that I get from social media over and over and over again. So I already have a response to a lot of these questions that people ask me already. You can do this in your personal life too. And so one of the most, typical kind of questions can be around food. So something like, "Why aren't you eating dessert?" Or "You're only having one plate." And maybe they come with good intentions, but oftentimes it can feel invasive or very judgmental. And so having some prepared responses in your bank or in your back pocket can help you justify yourself with also just being ready and prepared for that to happen. So if somebody asks you or comments on why you're not having dessert, you can just say something like, "I'm just enjoying what feels good for me today." Or, "I really enjoyed the other dishes, but I appreciate the offer. I'm good, thank you. Just focusing on the food and enjoying the experience." Each of these responses are kind, non confrontational, and allow you to stay firm without getting bogged down in a conversation about why you're making specific choices. Maybe if someone asks you if you're only having one plate, I don't know, us Americans love to have seconds and thirds sometimes. And hey, I do it too, especially at the buffet. But I don't know why people feel the need to ask how many plates of food you're having. Like, honestly, when I think about it, it feels so weird. But, anyways, you could respond with something like, "Oh, I'm feeling satisfied with this. No need for more right now." Or something like, "I like to keep it simple and listen to my body." That could actually even maybe in tune, you can tell them a little bit about the mindful and intuitive eating that you've been working on. Or really, you can say something like, "I enjoy quality over quantity. This plate is all I need, and I feel satisfied and great." Having these kind of responses ready are just super helpful for you when you are feeling pressured or when you're feeling overwhelmed. You have this bank of content almost. You have these answers already prepped and primed. And the more you practice, like sometimes I'll just practice in the mirror. If I'm gonna talk to someone in person, I'll practice over and over again or in a voice note in my phone so that I feel really prepared to answer the question with ease. Now, I am sassy, some may say. And sometimes when I get asked the same question over and over and over again, I want to be sassy in my response. So please, you don't have to answer this way, but I just want to, if you want to add a little spice into your Thanksgiving meal, feel free to sprinkle these in. Okay. Here's our example. If somebody says, "Oh, you're not eating dessert," you can say something like, "I'm sweet enough as is. I don't need the sugar." It's so stupid. Jeez. Or like, "Oh, no thanks. I've got enough sweetness in my life already." Your son. So stupid. Okay, ready? Um, if you're only having one plate. If you're only having one plate. "I'm not trying to be rolled out of here. Gosh, thanks so much, but I'm good." On being asked why you're not eating more. I just like to enjoy my food and not stuff myself like it's my last meal ever because I know I'm going to eat again tomorrow. Okay, here's another one. If somebody is commenting on your food choices, you can say something like, "Oh, that's interesting. I'm not here to impress you with Okay. If somebody comments on your food choices, you say, "I'm not here to impress you with my plate, but thank you so much for your concern." Or, "Oh, wow, I didn't actually ask for your food commentary, but thank you so much for your concern." Or what about on being asked about your diet or food choices, you can say something like, "I'm not your project. My choices are my own," with a super straight face right at them. Or you can say something like, "I'm doing me, you're doing you. We're good here," and just walk away. Or what about this one? This is for on being asked about your diet or food choices. "It's called listening to my body. You should try it." These are sassy. So please, like, take them with ease. And like, if you get into a fight at Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner, like, please send them to my podcast. Okay, number 4, firmly but kindly decline pushy offers. So a lot of these are based on other people pushing their opinions on you. So really kind of take what you need here. But firmly but kindly decline pushy offers. When it comes to family gatherings, there's usually one person that's always insisting on you trying everything or insisting that you do something or asking you a million questions about the same thing. Whether it's out of excitement, tradition, or honestly sheer persistence or just who they are and their personality, this can just like feel like a lot of pressure. So, setting that boundary in these situations, keeping it polite but firm, is all you need to do to explain yourselves. So, a simple thank you, but I'm all set is great because it's short, respectful, and leaves little room for further argument. But if they insist again, you can just repeat the same phrase or add a little bit extra. You can say something like, "I really appreciate the author, but I'm sticking with what I've got for now. I'm good. I'm sure it's delicious. I don't need any more right now." Even, for example, someone bringing up a conversation of drinking or having kids, like these can be such big conversations, but you can keep it short and easy. "Thank you. I'm all set." Somebody offers you a drink. "Oh, you're the only one not drinking here. Thank you. I'm all set." That's all. And if they are still pushy, that is on them. And you can be really honest with saying like, "Hey, I feel really comfortable with where I'm at. I'm not interested at this time." And honestly, at that point, like if they keep being pushier, especially as they're drinking, you can literally just go find another family member to talk to at that point. Um, so let's just say you're at a holiday dinner, your aunt is pushing her pie. I'm not a huge pie fan. So I would typically say no to pie. Maybe like try a piece here and there, but I'm not a huge fan. And she says, "Come on, try a slice. You never know, it might be your new favorite." That's like saying, "Oh, my cat is gonna be your favorite. It's just like dogs." And I'm gonna say, "No, it's not. I don't care about pumpkin pie. Your cat could be great for you, but I'm just not gonna care that much about your cat. That's all." But if she persists, like you just say like, "I've eaten enough already. I'm good. I'm sure it's amazing. I'm just good right now." Now, the beauty of this approach is that you are literally giving her this good grace and gratitude for her creating this pie, but you are just not interested at this time. You can even say something as silly, even if you don't plan on doing it. "Oh, I'm actually full right now, but I can't wait to try some tomorrow." And you take a piece to go or something like that. Again, practicing these type of situations, practicing answering will be so helpful for when you actually get there. So if you have a couple people in your family that you know push you or asks you the same questions, remember that bank of content that will help you here. Now, number 5 is reconnecting to your why. I mean, you started your health and wellness journey and feeling good and taking care of yourself for a reason. In moments of pressure, it's whether it's the urge to indulge in something or overeat or something that you don't want or feeling overwhelmed, like it's essential for you to stop for a second, reconnect with your why and just reconnect with who you are and ground yourself back again. And so that may be you going into the bathroom for 5 minutes or you taking a step outside, going for a walk, taking it, taking you out of a situation for you to see why you're doing this and why you care so much about staying true to yourself and setting those boundaries. Now, your goals are your goals. They're not arbitrary. They mean so much to you. So even if someone at your gathering doesn't agree with that, or they don't have the same goals as you, or they think you're crazy or whatever, that doesn't matter. Your goals are for you and you have to stick with your why. So, for example, maybe your journey is all about feeling stronger, more energized, or more confident in your body. Maybe you just started the Broads app and you're super excited to see strength gains. Or perhaps it's building like these long lasting habits that support your long term health rather than you get up in all these fleeting indulgences or peer pressured. Whatever it is, reconnecting to those deeper reasons will help empower you to make choices that serve your goals rather than feeling like you need to follow anyone else's expectations or give in to these temptations from other people because they are just super pushy. When you remember why you're making the choices that you're making, honestly, in daily life, like why do I wake up at 6 a.m.? Why do I go for a walk in the morning? Why do I work out? It becomes easier and easier to stand firm in who you are, setting those boundaries, and feeling really good about it because there's no reason to feel guilt or shameful about how you want to live your life. So here's another instance, another example. You're at a family gathering, someone comments on your food choices, and instead of feeling awkward or defensive, you can just remind yourself of your why. I'm doing this because I want to feel my best, because I want to feel awesome in my broads workouts, because I value my health, because I actually really feel fucking good right now and I want to continue to feel good. And if I do X, Y, or Z, drink alcohol, eat the extra plate, have something I don't want, it's not going to make me feel good. What if you actually really just said that back to them? It's not going to make me feel good. So why would I want to not feel good? Honestly. Period. That's what I would say. Period. Why would I not want to feel good? And you can really say, like, I'm actually proud of where I'm at in my journey. I'm proud of who I am and my goals and where I'm at. So that's great for me. Okay, this next one, number 6, is educate if invited to. This is big for me as a trainer because I sometimes want to help everyone and sometimes people want to or don't want to be helped. So, if someone is genuinely curious, like they are genuinely curious about your choices, whether it's about your food you're eating, your workout routine, lifestyle changes, sleep, morning routine, something like that, it can be a great conversation starter. You can also hype yourself up because, again, like I said, everyone wants to talk about themselves. So maybe this is a great chance for you to talk yourself up, like hype yourself up, be your own hype woman. And maybe you can have the trickle effect. I like to call this the multi-level marketing pyramid scheme of confidence. All we're trying to do is sprinkle this confidence to everyone else within your health and wellness journey, and maybe they will also feel it. It is really important, though, when you talk about these situations that it is about your experience and not what they should or shouldn't be doing, because we don't want to be those people that are pushy either, right? As a trainer, fitness professional of over 12 years, it's easy to want to push this into someone because you're like, shake them. Why aren't you strength training? But instead, we can role model the experience that we had to potentially create the experience that they can have. But know that everyone's journey is different, just like my journey is so much different than yours. And what works for one person may not work for another. So when someone asks about your choices, you can say something like, oh, I've been eating in this way that makes me feel really good, energized, balanced. It's been great for me. And then you're just sharing your personal experience. Maybe you're sharing these like small wins that people can relate to. A lot of times when someone wants to start their health and wellness journey, they just need to see more people around them succeed. And so maybe it's like sprinkling in lots of sprinkles today. It's sprinkling in some of these small wins that they could potentially feel themselves. And this is also a really cool time to introduce some of the tools that you're using on your journey. So, for example, you could say, "Oh, I've been using the Broads app to keep me on track with my workouts. It's been amazing to keep me consistent and focus on how I feel rather than a specific number or rule. It's a game changer for me. I'm not focused on weight loss anymore. I'm focused on getting strong AF." And then I would say, "Yeah, Broads app, you should join." By focusing on your feelings and experience rather than telling others what they should or shouldn't do, you create this conversation that remains respectful and encouraging. All we're trying to do is encourage, especially when it comes to health and wellness. Encourage, not push. And for and for anyone that's curious, or maybe they feel that little like spark of hope with them, you can say something like, "Hey, Broads app has a 7-day trial. Like, it's super flexible. There's also personal trainers in there, and you can prioritize what you're trying to look for in your workout routine." But remember, people are most likely more open and receptive when you share your journey with confidence, positivity, and just without any judgment towards them. You never know. This is just a really great way to help them start their journey because sometimes it just takes one more person to say something that might inspire their own path. The pyramid scheme of confidence. Number 7 is bring a dish that you enjoy. Obviously, we're still talking about these holiday gatherings. So, if you're heading into a meal and want to stay aligned with your nutrition goals, one of the easiest ways to do this is to bring a side or bring a plate that you personally really enjoy. By prepping and bringing something that fits with your personal goals, you're not only taking control of your choices, but you're also ensuring there's at least one option available that you can enjoy without compromising any of your goals. Now, I don't want you to think that this is like you're bringing your own dish and that's the only thing you're eating. I remember some people in my family were vegan once and they literally brought their entire vegan meal to our Thanksgiving. And it was just hard because obviously they ate an entire different meal from anyone else and they were all in little containers. So we're not trying to impose diet or preferences on others. We're just having an experience where we're bringing one plate. So if you have to bring all your own food, awesome. It does, I feel, take a little bit of the experience away. So put it out with everyone else. And even if you don't take some of the other dishes on there, you know you have something for you. The other really great thing about bringing your own dish is that it gives you control about the ingredients. And if that's really important for you, you can be mindful of your nutrition, whether it's, you know, how much sugar you put in it, gluten, certain fats, any sort of allergies or allergens. Making a dish yourself means that you can control what's going on. It's just like eating at home versus going out to eat. You don't know exactly what they're putting in when they're actually cooking the food. This will allow you to feel more satisfied and nourished during the gathering, and you maybe potentially won't overindulge or overeat or feel like you have any stomach problems. And also, it just doesn't hurt to bring a dish that's easy to share and enjoyable for others. That's what it's all about, right? It's all about sharing the experience together. And so you can share why you brought a certain dish of carrots or whatever it may be. And finally, number 8 is keep things flexible and eat what you want. Of course, we can always have our goals at the forefront, but holidays come once a year and a little flexibility will not derail your progress. It's so easy to get caught up in all of the decision making and how they need to be. It needs to be the right way. It needs to be, this is what I have to do. But really, there has to be some flexibility to indulge or maybe eat something that you haven't had in a really long time or eat grandma's sweet yams. Sometimes I dream about those. She put so much butter and maple syrup on them that it literally just tasted like straight sugar. It was amazing. But when you approach the season with a mindset that you can enjoy the foods you love, but in moderation, you take away any feelings of restriction or deprivation. Now, this does not mean just throwing away the towel or your goals, but rather embracing the concept of just being flexible. And remember, this is a great opportunity for you to say yes to this dessert, but then get up in the morning and walk or get in your workout because you could still do the things you love to do and have the foods you love in moderation. Staying present during meal and enjoying the experience, focusing on the flavors, the company, eating with intention, but again, with that flexibility mindset. And here's the thing, when you actually allow yourself to have that flexibility, you actually build a healthier relationship with food. You stop seeing certain foods as off limits or bad, which often creates this cycle of restriction and overindulgence. So instead, you're practicing mindful eating in moderation, and you can gain the freedom to enjoy your favorite treats without them holding power over you. Now, the holidays are a time to celebrate, so don't let food be a source of stress. Do not let your family be a source of stress. And when you practice moderation and mindfulness, you not only nourish your body, but also your mindset, which is very important for long term success. So, there you have it. Those are my 8 best tips for navigating family through the holidays. Let me quickly just recap for you. Number 1, set your own expectations and boundaries. Number 2, politely deflect questions. Number 3, prepare friendly responses for common questions. Remember that bank of content. Number 4, firmly but kindly decline pushy offers. Number 5, reconnect with your why. Number 6, educate gently if invited. Number 7, bring a dish you enjoy. And number 8, keep things flexible. I truly hope that these tips gave you confidence and peace of mind going into the holidays. And of course, if you are looking for a brand new way to stay fit and feel amazing without overcomplicating things, check out my brand new app, Broads. It's designed to keep fitness simple, even through the busiest times of the year. You only need to work out 2, 3, or 4 days a week, and I've got your plan covered. Just show up, do the workouts, and enjoy the results. They're full body routines that are programmed to help you build strength and confidence and everything you need to stay on track through the holidays and beyond. Stay strong, stay confident, and most of all, please enjoy this season.